Does it ever feel like you're a marketing professional just speaking into the void? But with LinkedIn ads, you can know you're reaching the right decision makers, a network of 130 million of them, in fact. You can even target buyers by job title, industry, company, seniority, skills, and did I say job title? See how you can avoid the void and reach the right buyers with LinkedIn ads. Spend $250 on your first campaign and get a free $250 credit for the next one. Get started at linkedin.com/campaign. Terms and conditions apply.
This episode is brought to you by Regret and Bad Choices.
Are you ready?
Starting now?
Well, now you just messed it up, you knob. God, you know that the shit that we go through for this, huh?
I know. Fuckers better appreciate it. When we started, we were just like, yeah, we're just going to do this, man. You know, shoot our wad into the wind and see what happens. What's the title of this podcast again?
I don't know. Objects, I don't know. Something with a penis, I guess.
Right.
Our fucking faces are everywhere now.
Right.
You know, but
You're welcome, ladies.
Right. Popular with the ladies.
Right.
Oh, I'm not even going to apologize because hopefully it sounds fucking hilarious.
Yeah, totally. This is fucking explicit now.
The explicit button. Let me use my finger.
It is time for another episode of Sober, Not Mature. And that episode starts now.
All right, everyone. Welcome once again to another episode of Sober, Not Mature. I got two things to start out with. One, the most important one. Welcome back, my friend. Welcome back.
Whoa, why, thank you. Yes, I actually made it this week.
You know what? And the thing of it is, and I had a wonderful conversation with Megan. Same thing. Had obviously a guest on there, and everything went smooth and very interesting. And it was funny because she had a note on Instagram today, I think, because I had tagged her on one of the clips today, and she said, thank you again for our winding conversation. I just kind of laughed because I'm like, that really is what it was. I mean, we talked about like almost everything,
Right.
just in these different waves, like we always do. That's what I put. I'm like, that's pretty much exactly
That's what this is.
it is. That's what this is. So yeah, I mean, obviously, welcome back. And I knew that again, it's not a big deal.
Welcome back to you.
well, so here's the thing. That's number two. Okay.
Yeah.
I beat you on something else. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So for anyone who doesn't know, I beat Mike to the first heart attack.
Official, anyway.
Yeah, official, exactly. So, yeah, and no shit, that's not a fucking joke. I had what they, and I'll go into it later. I mean, we want to do our reading and all that stuff, but and I'll read the definition because I had a fucking heart attack. Okay, but yeah, I mean, it was 2.5 weeks ago now, the weekend of October 25th, is when it happened. And then we had guests on for a couple of weeks, so didn't really have a chance to talk about it. I mean, obviously, clearly, Mike knew.
Yes, I knew.
That's part of the story. But here's the thing: I want to talk about it not for. I posted nothing on social media on purpose. I haven't talked about it on my personal Facebook page, on Instagram, anything like that.
Right.
And that is literally on purpose and by design, because I don't, if other people out there want to announce their events and stuff like that, I have nothing against it. I'm not that person. Okay.
Right.
So, but I thought, you know what? I want to talk about it on here because I think that I've got a couple of points I'd like to present. I was going to say make, but points I'd like to present. And I think that this has to do with this could be surrounded in sobriety. So I think I think it'll be topical, and plus on top of it, hey, just in case anyone's wondering, I mean, I know we're doing some teasers here, but spoiler alert, I fucking lived. Okay.
Hey.
This is not pre-recorded. This is not like they used to do in the news cycles, hey, by the way, Bill had a heart attack. And then he just plays it like, no, seriously, he fucking did. He's dead. He's no longer here.
Right.
That was pre-recorded from a month ago. But but yeah, so I mean, I got some things, and you know, I don't know if this is going to be surprising to anyone. I know not to you, but I found some humor in this whole thing. Those couple of days
Right.
that I was in the hospital, and it's so fucked up now that we have this podcast, and it's been like this ever since we've had it.
Mhm.
Is that and I've heard the guys on the morning show talking about this. They're like,
Mhm.
it doesn't matter how fucked up something goes or how weird something goes. They're like, this is going to make for a goddamn good story on the radio.
Right.
And I always think that, damn, this gives me conversations, you know. And some of it was funny, and some of it was just, you know, it just is what it is. So,
Right.
but yeah, welcome back. I wasn't out. I got a couple of freebies. I'll talk to you. I'll talk about that. But I got a couple of freebies, but I was never out. I was never out completely out. So I could have still, if I was the president, I could have still been running the country the entire time because I wasn't down.
All right.
Wasn't down. And knowing that fucking moron, I could probably run the company. But
Well,
I don't know, country, not company.
Yes. Right. It's
It's
far
a
better.
low. It's a low bar.
Very low.
But anyhow, so yeah, we're recording on a Wednesday, as it turns out,
We
which we
are.
can talk about because Mike has some plans this weekend. I do too, not until Sunday, but yeah, we can get to all that. But yeah, I'll get into my story maybe after the break. We can do our reading and, you know, see how things go and whatever. And we
Right.
might be. Mike's had a long day. I get it. It's just this random on a Wednesday, so we might run a little bit shorter than what we normally do. But we'll see how. I don't know. Who knows? We'll see how things go
Right.
as we go along. So
All right, I'm done. Goodbye. No.
exactly.
We're back. We're gone.
Yeah, I'll just tell my fucking heart attack story. So
Right. No. Anyway, now so we got a thing here. Yes, it's been whatever, man. Work's been busy as hell. I've been pulling 13 hour days. Today was short. It was only 11. So, right.
And, you know what's funny is I brought that up in last week's episode because I said that I was telling Megan about that, and just kind of reminding everyone because it was a few months ago when, you know, whenever that they had that meeting and, you know, we were telling you guys that, hey, whether it was economy or whatever the deal was, that things might be slowing down. And
Right.
I was telling Megan, I'm like, the funniest thing is I said they fucking work them harder now than they used to.
Yeah.
You know, like go figure. You know.
Yep. Yeah, they must have heard I was half Hebrew. Anyway, I can make that joke. Half of me can make that joke.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. All right. Yes. So a reading. Yeah, I kind of randomly cracked open the book and is this the one I want? Yeah, this is the one I want. Yeah, I don't know. Again, I'm running on fumes and it's all good, but here we are with 90% showing up. Right. Yeah, and that other 10% is already in bed. All right. So this is June 25th. It's not completely horrible. So here we go. All the art of living lies in a fine mingling of letting go and holding on. Some guy named Havelock Ellis. Don't know. Google him yourself if you care. Our addiction led us to let go of everything important to us and hold on to our alcohol and drugs. Now that we are sober, we can do it the other way around. We can let go of alcohol and drugs and the other things that make us sick, and we can hang on to the things that help us get well and stay healthy. What should we let go of as we learn to live in recovery? Alcohol and drugs, cravings, shame, fear, being stubborn, big egos, having to be in control of outcomes, having to be in control of other people. What should we hang on to? Our sponsor, our 12-step group, our higher power, the process of working the steps, our values, our faith, love, our dignity and self-esteem, routines and rituals that keep us healthy. Prayer for the day. Higher power, finding the right balance of letting go and holding on isn't easy. Please help me today. Today's action. Damn it, we got to do stuff. Am I a person who has more trouble letting go or more trouble hanging on? I will talk about this with my sponsor or my friend.
How about I will talk about it on my podcast?
Yes, there you go.
So, and I remember bits and pieces of that one, because I mean it's good in a lot of ways, because and I wrote down some of the where it said things to let go and then things to hold on to is just too much shit for me to write down. But
Right.
so I guess let's start there though. Do you have an issue, or do you think you're better, worse, or indifferent on either one of those, letting go or hanging on to shit?
Right. Um, um, kind of right. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Yes.
Right.
No, I think, clearly I am far better at hanging on to the things I need to hang on to and letting go of the things that I need to let go of today than I was, 16 years ago. Yeah, yeah, I mean, I'm again, yeah, I'm pretty good at hanging on to the shit I need to and letting go of the things I don't. Um, yeah, yeah, I'm pretty good at it.
With new, gentler scented Clorox disinfecting wipes, clean finally smells as good as it feels on everything from lamps to ceiling fans, even on your kid's toy shark. Oh, ouch. Clorox disinfecting wipes, now available in crisp lemon. Find it on Amazon. Clorox, clean feels good.
And actually when I asked that question, I thought about that, and you can like it was in the reading, those things can be flipped around back and forth.
Right.
So there's the good letting go and there's the good hanging on, and there's the bad
Mhm.
letting go and the bad hanging on. So
Right.
I think I can have I think I'm about even on both of them too, but I
Mhm.
think I can go either direction. There are things every once in a while, the things that I don't hang on to anymore are resentments. I mean, that's the
Right.
biggest one,
Mhm.
and I if I start to have one fester, I can feel it. Not only
Right.
do I know it when I, again, whatever the situation is, I see it and I'm like, this thing, or
Mhm.
this person or whatever it is.
Right.
But I recognize that emotion right away. But even if I don't, I can feel when something's wrong, which is kind of cool. Almost unexplainable, but very cool.
Yeah.
But letting go in the past, or letting go of the past, but
Mhm.
also being able to hang on to those bits and pieces. Again, not wanting to shut the door on the past, or shut the door on the past, but keep it open just a crack, because we need, at least I do. I mean, I need to see where I came from, where I fucked
Right.
up. What did I do before? I can't forget the person that I was, or my opinion is, as we've been taught, we'll return to that lovely
Mhm.
individual. Um, so I don't know. I mean, it could go different ways. I mean, I think from one of the things that, if nothing else, if nothing else, we are at a point in our lives, and we've made it to a point in our sobriety so far today, where we're not out there fucking people up. We're not out there fucking with people.
Mhm.
We're not out there, hurting people on a daily basis. So I think that, even worst case scenario, we can look at the things around us and say, okay, our track record is pretty good, but if we want to really pinpoint things, maybe we both have work to do. I know I do, but
Sure.
like you said, I think I'm okay at both.
Yeah. Right. Exactly. Yeah.
Is there room for improvement?
Oh,
Yes,
always.
always.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah. Um, I know I'm much better at letting go of shit that is bad for me. Absolutely, I'm way better at that than I used to be. Yeah, we've talked about it, a million times on here. Yeah, if there's a bunch of bullshit going on in my life, trust me, I'm not hanging on to it. I'm walking away as quickly as I possibly can.
Right.
Um, eh, so yeah, thanks to AA and the program and the steps and whatever powers that are greater than myself. Yeah, I'm fucking way better at it, and as a consequence, quite much happier than I used to be.
Imagine that,
I
right?
know.
It's funny when and I had a couple of things I'll bring up later with this whole incident. I had a couple of revelations about the things that maybe I'm not happy with and things that I'm just not going to fucking do anymore,
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I didn't have, I mean, I'll get into it, but I mean, it goes along the same lines with this hanging on and letting go sort of thing.
Sure.
I just had these couple of revelations, kind of what, back to when, my friend Sarah died. But then there was one other element in there, which I can talk about, but it's, the biggest thing is, and Megan was talking about that too. And I just heard it in one of the clips that she, or one of the clips I just did for tomorrow, and she's talking about these different things that she's doing, and she does a lot of. I mean, her whole thing is, it's Megan Swan Wellness. I mean, she does this wellness stuff in a lot of different ways, not just mental wellness and coaching and all these different things, and helping women become better individuals and career minded, all those sort of things. But they have this whole retreat stuff where they get into the whole medical side of it, which I didn't know her husband's a surgeon, which I had no idea. She met him in Mexico. And actually, the way that they met was she took this trip to Mexico and got her certificate. She was going to teach English down there and do yoga just to get by and travel. And that's how she met her husband. She was teaching him English.
Ah, nice.
But so now they do this whole thing. But she was talking about that, and she's like, "There's such little things that people can do, to take care of themselves and take care of their wellness and their being, and in turn, once again, we talk about happiness being a byproduct. If you're doing all these things and letting go of this bad negative shit, and really focusing on hanging on to the good stuff in your life." Again, end result, it's that byproduct is going to be, hopefully some happiness, some joy, some peace, some serenity.
Yep.
I mean, fuck, that's the point, right? I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
But the other thing I talked about, so I think it was not the middle, but maybe towards the end, where it said things to let go. I talked about shame, fear, stubbornness, ego, but then things to hang on to. I think it mentioned routines and a couple other things. Can you
Yeah.
see that? Okay.
Yeah, sure. The things to hang on to.
Yes.
Our sponsor, the 12-step group, our higher power, the process of working the steps, our values, our faith, love, our dignity and self-esteem, routines and rituals that keep us healthy.
Okay, and that's what all of that stuck, but then it was the routines and rituals that kind of got to me. For two reasons. Number one, because I mean that's the backbone of what you and I do, and I think that it's the simplest things that we do on a daily and nightly basis. But also it's the little. The little threads that really hold this whole big thing together,
Right.
But and just a quick side note, when I was in the hospital for 2 nights, the night going in before the procedure, and then second night, and I have my phone with me, so I mean that's where all my readings are.
Sure.
So I mean I've done it for years, and it's all with me. But
Mhm.
here's the weird fucking part: I literally both nights almost went to sleep without doing my nightly prayers and my 10-step
Right.
because I've been in bed all fucking day.
Right.
I've never, and I mean, since I've been sober, I've never been in a bed from morning until night,
Right.
like that. I mean,
Yeah.
never in 15 and a half years.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm trying to think. I don't think I have either.
So,
Certainly large chunks of Sundays I try, but yeah, right. I'm up, I'm doing something,
right.
Throwing a little laundry in, whatever. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, right. Yeah, just laying there all day. No.
Yeah, and I'll explain why I couldn't, in a little bit, but but I'm about to go to sleep, and I'm like, oh fuck me, so I mean, I already had the lights off and whatever, like it doesn't fucking matter. I did my readings, or not my readings. I did my prayers, I did my 10-step, and then went to bed, and then I think it was whatever the morning was, I knew theoretically when the procedure was going to be. So I got up, I set my alarm early, figuring because they're going to be in and out doing whatever. But I wanted the time, I wanted to get my readings done. So I set an alarm to get my readings done the day I was going to get the procedure. And then the following day, I just, again, knowing when the shift change was and whatever, I figured that out. Same deal. I set my alarm for like 7 a.m. I did my prayers first, and then did my readings. I'm like, the prayers is what I want the quiet time of,
Sure.
The readings, that somebody comes in, I'm like, I just give me a minute, blah, blah, blah,
Right.
So that I literally made time for it. But yeah, it was just, I'm like, I gotta remember to tell you that, because it was just because I was it was weird, I'm just laying in bed all day and I almost forgot, but I didn't.
Yeah.
So
well, good. Right.
it's just fucking weird, because we talk about it all the time. The thing of it is, and I'm like, why and how? But I know how. When I get into bed at night, that's when I do my shit. That's
Sure.
the on switch for when I do that. So I know
Right.
why.
Right.
It's just fucking weird. So,
Yeah.
but I mean, yeah, all of that stuff, and I mean, it's all those things that it just mentioned. And I like when it said, talked about the process. We talk about all that stuff, in all these things that we again weave in and incorporate in our lives on a daily basis. And quite honestly, we talked about it before. I never sit back and think, okay, when I wake up in the morning, I'm like, well, I got to make sure I get rid of shame and fear and stubbornness and ego, and what I gotta hang on to is my routine, whatever. It's just become part of our lives, which is it's a fucking gift.
Yeah, absolutely. Now I do have to ask you, when you checked out of the hospital, did you make your bed before you left?
Did I? You know what? I'm trying to think if when I got out of, because by the time I was up in, because I was in ICU, that's where I ended up.
Right.
When I left the upstairs, I was in my bed, so I never got out of that one.
Right.
And then when I checked out,
Hey. Not yet. A little premature there.
No, not checked. I was thinking like checking out of an
Like
Airbnb.
at a hotel. Right.
Yeah, like at a hotel. It was checkout time.
Check out time. Hey.
Hit the front desk and here's the key. I think when I got out of bed, because I had a blanket on, I think I probably pulled a blanket up just instinctively, but I don't remember if I did or didn't.
I'm sure you did.
I probably did, but the thing of it is the first bed I never got out of.
Right.
Because they just wheeled me downstairs in that bed, and then I was in a different one because I was going to ICU. But come to think of it, I think I did. That's funny though. That's it's just I got again. That's part of the humor part towards the end with getting out of bed. But yeah, so I mean, I don't know. I mean, that reading, I really liked it because again, it gets back to the simplicity of just this basic shit that we do on a daily basis. That it's so simple, but it's so fucking important.
Right. Yeah.
Which is it's mind blowing. It's like these little fucking things. Really, this is what's going to do it. Really.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
Could it be that simple?
I believe it can.
What else? Anything else in that reading that kind of
I don't know.
jumped out on you?
Pulled it out of my ass. I have no clue.
Okay, well, I actually didn't know if you searched for something and came up with it, or
nope.
Or just
kind of flipped open. And actually, I read a couple of them. That was probably the third one, and I went, "Oh shit, that's good enough."
Yeah, that's I liked it. I think it was a good one. I actually think it was a very good one. All right, so and I've got a couple of newer things that I wrote down. Oh, you know what? And here's kind of funny. And you don't have Netflix. So there's a John Candy documentary out.
I've heard.
Okay. Were you a fan? You like John Candy?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Okay, that's what I
huge
I thought
SCTV fan. Yeah.
Yeah, and I there was no reason in the world for me to think that you weren't a fan and didn't like him, but just a logical question. But so yeah, I saw it and I watched it over a couple of different nights, and it was I Like Me is what it was titled, or what it is titled, obviously from Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Right.
What's just so funny is they're going through this whole thing, and first of all, number one, I forgot when he died. I figured I thought I remembered heart attack, which it was. I didn't remember how old he was. He was 43.
Right.
His dad died when he was fucking 35. When
Wow.
his dad was 35 and John was 5.
Right.
And the same type of thing, and that kind of goes into this. I'm like, well, this is kind of fucking weird. I'm watching this after the thing happened to me, Hereditary, and all that, which I'll get into. But so here's this part just made me laugh though. So towards the end, the last probably 2-3 years, and he would go up and down in his weight, and at one point, he lost a considerable amount of weight. And somebody had said, either made a comment or he had a role where he needed to bulk up a little bit, and so he had this mindset that people just only accepted him when he's big.
Right.
I think that was kind of the mindset. But so towards the last 2-3 years, he had people telling him obviously he needed to take care of himself, and he to begin with avoided going to doctors, and then I forget the actor that was saying this, but he said basically he would shop doctors, right? And
Uh-huh.
it made me think of like the Darryls and stuff like that, shopping for sponsors. It'll tell you the right thing.
Mm-hmm.
So he
Right.
said, he goes, if he went to this guy's like, if he went to a doctor, the doctor's like, oh, by the way, you should watch what you eat. You should cut down on smoking. You should either
Mm-hmm.
quit drinking or whatever. He'd just go to a different doctor.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, he was eating too much, drinking too much, and smoking too much,
Right.
and then, I imagine that he had a fucking heart attack.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, literally, he kept looking for doctors, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, that is, and I don't think he was, well, I don't know. I mean, he didn't come across, or the story didn't come across like he was an alcoholic.
Mm-hmm.
I just think he had these overindulging tendencies, considering his, overeating and probably just
Right.
doing things in excess, but probably not as bad as, like Farley or anything like that. But
Right.
it didn't seem like he got in. They didn't really talk much about drug use or anything like that, I don't think. But
I did hear he was doing a lot of coke, but
and you know what? If he was, I'm trying to think if that was. I don't think that was brought up in there. I don't remember. That doesn't stick out to me as being brought up. But who knows? I mean, figuring all the people he hung out with throughout those
right.
years.
Oh yeah, right.
And
It was the go-go 80s. Yeah.
yeah,
And
well,
70s and right.
and maybe, who knows? Maybe they just decided not to put that in there, to not
Mhm.
to let's put up the air quotes, tarnish his image or anything like that.
Right.
But the other thing that I didn't know, when there was and it was Eugene Levy was saying it when the procession was going to the cemetery, I think, for his funeral, and they're on the 405 in L.A. And I think it was Eugene said, or a couple of people, they're like, God, where's all the traffic? They shut down the freeway for his funeral procession, and apparently all the cops were at these, obviously the off ramps and stuff like that, like saluting the procession as he was going by.
Nice.
And they're like, it's only happened with the Pope, that happened with a president or two,
Mm-hmm.
and fucking John Candy. I'm like,
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, they shut down a goddamn freeway for him, But I don't know. I mean, it was good. It was actually it was really good. I really enjoyed it, but yeah, I'm like, I really didn't remember that he was so fucking young. Just
Right.
it just kind of blew my mind. But
Yeah.
just weird. Yeah, and I figured you were a fan. I figured you
Oh
enjoyed
yeah.
him.
Right. Yeah. Dr. Tongue's 3D House of Stewardesses.
I don't remember that.
Yeah. Monster Chiller Horror Theater. Right. He was Dr. Tongue. And the bad movie the horror. Yeah. I loved SCTV. I could sit here and go on and on and on about that. Everything they did was fucking beautiful. Gil, the fishing musician, right.
Right.
Had goddamn plasmatics on and the tubes. And yeah, it was a fucking wonderful show. Kids, go out there and watch SCTV. It was far superior than Saturday Night Live.
Yeah, you know what? And with this documentary being, and I think it's doing really well on Netflix. That, who knows? I mean, SCTV might get a whole new audience. I mean, all this shit's got to be on YouTube these days. I would assume.
I would think it's out there somewhere.
Yeah, exactly. But no, it was good. I mean, anyone, if you even halfway, or especially if you really like John Candy, I think they did a nice job with it, and just wrapped up everything. And it was heartfelt too, the whole thing. But
cool.
Yeah, it was good. It was a good thing. But I'm also I started listening to Bryan Cranston's book, and that was one that I kind of vacillated back and forth on, because I signed up for a deal with Audible again.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like probably halfway through. I think it's an 8 or 9 hour book, and I think I'm probably 4 hours into it. But just in general, I really enjoy Bryan Cranston, so I mean that I'm enjoying. But basically, what he said, this I ended up writing down. When he was trying to get into, or deciding whether he was going to get into acting, because he knew he liked it, but he wasn't sure if he should take the leap. He said he made a vow to himself. He said, okay, he goes, I'm willing, or he goes, I will pursue something that I love and hopefully become good at it, instead of pursuing something I'm good at but don't love. And I was like, that's fucking awesome.
Yes, it is.
And I'm like, and that's kind of part of my one of my revelations. Again, this that was after I had my revelation, but I'm like, that's fucking genius. Not genius,
right.
But I mean, it's awesome. So think about that. Okay, so So you're in, and I don't know, pick something you're good at. I think you're probably really good at driving a truck. I know you are,
Yes.
you know,
Yeah.
and you've done it for years, and you're really fucking good at it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you enjoy it, and I know your job causes you stresses and things like that.
Sure.
You know, is it your ultimate love? I'm not going to speak for you, but I don't know.
No, absolutely not.
but you're really good at it, and
Yeah.
if nothing else, you tolerate it, right?
I do. Right. You know, it provides me with a living and it's something. Yeah, exactly. I could tolerate it. You know, I don't have somebody hanging over me all the time. And yeah, you know, I'll probably do it tomorrow.
Yeah, and you know what? I mean, the job that I do, you know, again, I'm a fucking bill collector, you know, but
Mhm.
I'm most days, depending on the circumstance, I think
Sure.
I'm pretty good. I'm a good conversationalist, blah 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 blah. I
Mhm.
don't love it. I don't love it at all. You know,
Right.
I did a really good job when I was training and stuff like that, but I don't want those type of constraints anymore. You know,
Mhm.
but I mean, it just in general. I mean, yeah, just pursuing something that you love and then hopefully you become good at it. I'm
Mm.
like, that is fucking beautiful.
Right.
Just fucking beautiful. So, okay, back to and I the next one I'm gonna after I'm done with him, I downloaded Danny Trejo's book. I heard
Ah.
that was first of all, I heard it's a longer book. I think it's like 12 or
Mhm.
13 hours.
Sure.
But I've heard it's really fucking good. I can't remember who told me that, but I mean, I wouldn't think anything different.
Right.
But yeah. So
Yeah, I've heard some log form interviews with him and stuff. So yeah, I'm sure the book's like great.
yeah, and he's
Yeah.
been sober now for like what 50
A long goddamn time. Yeah.
50 many 50 years.
Yes.
And I think his kids got 7, 8, 9, 10, something like that.
Right.
His kids got some time under his belt
Mhm.
now too. But yeah, so that's the next one once I finish up the
Cool.
Cranston one. All right, so these are a couple of things I wrote down. I think these are more recent. So I believe this might even be from this week from Keep It Simple. Today I'll list 5 things that I want to do, but I'm afraid to try.
Hmm.
Is there anything like right now? And I don't want to say I don't think you're shivering in your slippers
My
over
timbers,
anything. I don't think your timbers are shivering over
they are
anything.
not.
But I mean, is there anything that you would like to try that you're hesitant of? I guess maybe is the best thing.
Hmm. No, not not a goddamn thing.
You're doing everything you want to do. Okay, that's
Yeah.
well.
Right.
Next,
Yeah.
next.
Right. Yeah. No, there's nothing that I want to do that if I really want to do something, I'll fucking do it.
Right.
Freedom, baby.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, and I mean, the only thing I'm thinking of, and again, this goes back to my revelation, what we were talking about, the thing that I talked to you about, that Kathy and I are talking about, which I'll kind
Mhm.
of maybe get into a little bit. I'm not going to completely open up on that yet because
Right.
we're not at that level, but and I'm not afraid to try it, but um, shit's got to line up right, because
Sure.
it's going to be a balancing act to do it. I don't have the ability, like you just said, freedom. I don't
Right.
have the financial freedom just to
Sure.
jump in and do something else. I mean, there's a
Right.
lot of considerations for me to take into it. So it's not a fear.
Mhm.
It's just a matter of it's more of a logical
Yeah.
hesitation,
Practical. Right.
practical.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah,
Exactly. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah, there's plenty of stuff I'd love to do. I'm sure as hell not afraid to do them. I just don't have the
right.
fucking money to do it.
Right. Yeah. It's just, yeah, I just didn't know. And I, the more I thought about it, I'm like, yeah, afraid is like you said, freedom. I mean,
Yeah.
there's
Right.
really, I mean, my fears not that, well, okay. Again, we've decided everything is driven by fear. We get all
Mhm.
that stuff, but
Right.
I mean, a true fear of like, ooh, I can't do this because I'm afraid
Right.
or I'm
Mhm.
afraid, but,
Yeah. All that shit's gone.
right.
Yeah.
Right.
Amazingly. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
beautiful.
That's that. Yeah, that's actually that's good. I guess I'm more and more I'm thinking about this. I'm glad neither one of us really have an answer for that.
Mhm.
All right, so this is just the next one up from this. This one's from God Grant Me. I will choose one thing that I do every day, such as brushing my teeth or eating a meal, and will make a decision to do it with my full attention today. Okay,
Mm.
there's more to this. I will
Mhm.
think about it. Think about why I'm doing it and or what I am accomplishing. It'll seem different to do it this way because I'm changing. it from a movement to an action. That's why I wrote it down, because it talked about an action.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not maybe necessarily like a brushing the teeth, eating. I mean, brushing your teeth because you don't want to, fucking have ass breath, and
Right.
we got to eat,
Mm-hmm.
But I thought about one thing kind of as I was just reading that off. But is there anything that you would, I don't know, think about that you could focus on like that to turn it into, rather than just a task, make it into an action, a specific action?
Right. Well, I mean, it's kind of part and parcel with the job. I mean, I have to be very deliberate in everything that I do. So I mean, I do it all fucking day long. I mean, a goddamn lane change, I've got to focus and make sure, yeah. So yeah, I mean, it's a huge part of my life. And again, it's kind of part of the reason why I tolerate the job, because don't love it, but tolerate it. Yeah, because it's a huge part of it is being very deliberate and I hook up to a trailer. I got to walk around and make sure everything's fucking safe, and the boxes latched down to the chassis, and all that. It's all make sure the lights are working, all that shit. It's yes, it's routine because I have to do it every day, several times a day, but I also have to fucking pay attention to it. I can't just walk around, I don't know. And there's plenty of guys that do hook up and throw the air hoses on and off they go. I see them. I don't want to be that guy. So yes, yeah, so yes, I'm very deliberate in a lot of the things I do, and it carries over, which is a good thing. And whatever, doing the dishes, not that I have many, but making sure there isn't a bit of smooch out there fucking, when I put it in the rack, it's fucking clean. Pay attention. Right. Yes.
Right. Yeah, and you know what? That's a good point, because I mean, the worst thing I got to worry about. I mean, if I'm going through my job, I could easily go through a lot of motions. If I happen to miss it, I missed a note or I missed something like that. I mean, my conversations that I have with people, there's certain ways that we have to approach the initial part of a conversation. Not a big deal, but I mean, that just happens, all the time. And I know what I'm saying and I know what I have to say. And I'm deliberate, but that's also, again, probably just happens automatically. But what I thought of is my readings, and that part of it, because the second part of my question was, for the most part, are we all just like going through the motions throughout the day with certain things? But I mean, you made a good point. I mean, your job is very technical, and it's all about, your job is surrounded by safety. Because how many pounds is that fucking truck?
I mean, fully loaded, it's just under 80,000 pounds.
Yeah, so I mean, I get it. You gotta pay attention.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't have I do not have that type of responsibility as you do. I'm not driving around an 80,000-pound computer.
Right.
It just doesn't go that way. But what I thought about was my readings, and there are times, it's my mornings especially. I mean, it's not that I'm not awake, because I am. I may be a little bit tired, but I go through the motions sometimes with my readings and my prayers and that sort of thing.
Yeah,
which
me too.
And that is every once in a while. I mean, I'll read it, like let's just take God Grant Me. I'll read it. I get to the end, I'm like, fuck it. I feel like I don't even know what I just read.
Right.
So I'll read it again. It only takes a couple of minutes, but then I'll pay attention,
Right.
So I think I'm guilty of that with some of these things that in my prayers, that some of these things that matter, but I just know that they're there, and I'm doing the thing, but maybe I'm not as focused as I should be. But I'm not out there. I'm not going to kill somebody if I miss a a sentence in God Grant Me.
Exactly. Right. And I'm the same way too. I mean, occasionally, just going through the motions. Sometimes, sometimes that's all I can muster. I'm going through the fucking motion, my 10th step at the end of the day. Was I a complete asshole? No, not completely. Did I, could I have been better? Yes, of course. Real cursory. I'm fucking tired. It wasn't the greatest day, but I will take a moment and go, did I do as I prick to anybody where I really shouldn't have been. And, thankfully, most of the time, 98% of the time, the answer is no. I wasn't a prick where I shouldn't have been. Occasionally, sometimes I'm a prick where I should be.
I caught that because you said I wasn't a prick where I shouldn't have been. Meaning there are times when you should be a prick.
Yep.
I caught that motherfucker. I got you. I see you.
Program of honesty, man.
But and lately, with and I'm not again, I've said it before, and I'll talk about it in a moment. But I'm not necessarily the most pleased with my work situation. It is what it is, and in my 10-step these days, it's I say my thing, and I'm like, okay, I always say my day, and that's in my head. It's like, how was my day?
Mm-hmm.
And I think about it, I'm like, well, work was work, and that's all I'm going to do because I've been mulling over some shit or maybe doing whatever, and I'm not going to fucking do that when I go to bed.
Right.
I'm just fucking not. Oh, I now have my sleep tracked, which I want to explain. It's kind of eye opening, but so I don't want to do that. So I'm just like, fucking work is work. I know what it is. I'm not going to mull over in this fucking shit anymore. It's done. And then I just go right into my prayers, and 9 times out of 10, I mean, especially if I'm traveling, I'm not around anyone. If I piss somebody off, it's rare, or even if I had the opportunity
right.
to piss somebody off, it's rare, so, but yeah, I get it. Just going through the motions on whatever, but I'm glad you brought it up about the job thing. I mean, that's not only a great example, I mean, a perfect example of, again, having that type of focus and having that type of focus be able to carry over into your life. So
yeah, absolutely. And I'm glad, that I get that it's there in my life. It's again, hey, my life's not half fucking bad today.
Today. All right. So on that note, your life is not half bad, and I miss this. And again, the funniest fucking part is I don't know how to say goodbye when you're not here. I have no fucking idea how to tell people we're going to take a fucking break. I mean, I don't know how to be that guy. Okay.
Right.
So everyone, you get a break. Our friend's back. Go ahead.
Right. All right. Well, we're going to come back and we're going to talk about Bill's heart right after these words from our sponsors.
Hey, Mike, I have a question for you.
All right. I may have an answer for you.
So if you're one of our fine listeners and you wanted to know a little bit more about the podcast, more than just listening to us ramble, where would you go as a listener? What do you think you'd do?
I believe you would go to SoberNotMature.com.
Ding. Ding. Okay, good. Now, next question is, what if you've been, I don't know, seeing us on social media, you've seen our t-shirts, you've seen some of the pictures we posted, and the person's like, you know what, I want to be cool like those guys and get a t-shirt or a coffee mug. Where would they go for that? I know this is a tougher question, but where would they go for that one?
They would go to SoberNotMature.com.
They could do that. Yes, you're right. Because once you're on SoberNotMature.com, they can hit the store link and go to our second website, which is SoberNotMatureShop.com.
See, I was going to say store. I'd have screwed it up.
You know what? The thing of it is you got it right the first time. Everything people want is at, go ahead with the first website,
SoberNotMature.com.
And if you mess around on there, you're going to see everything we have. Obviously, we have our merchandise. See a little bit about us, a little bit about our background. We posted some other things on there, but I don't know. You can even sign up for our email list. And here's the good thing. We barely email anyone ever, so you're not going to get spammed.
Oh, no, absolutely not. That would be like effort on our part, and that's not going to happen.
Right. I have never used our mailing list yet. I may at some point, but that would take structure and discipline, which I don't think either one of us have, do we?
I know I don't.
All right. So just to wrap up here, to visit our main website and get to everything that is us, where would they go, Mike?
SoberNotMature.com.
Visit that today, right?
Right.
Okay, I think we're done. Are you done?
I'm done.
Bye.
Bye.
This episode is brought to you by Nature's Bounty. Nature's Bounty believes your body is brilliant, naturally designed to thrive, inside and out. For those always looking for new ways to support your health from head to heels, Nature's Bounty has a range of over 400 vitamins and supplements born from 50 years of trust and care. Nature's Bounty, It's in your nature. Visit naturesbounty.com to learn more.
All right, everyone, welcome back.
Wow,
And
that was a long pause, man. I thought maybe I lost you.
No, you know,
I'm gonna talk about my heart.
The funny part of it is that that was 10 seconds. I usually wait 6 or 7.
Yeah.
But we were right at the we were changing over from the 38 minute to 39, and I'm trying to do it. I don't know why that fucks me up, but you want to talk about, just so everyone understands, this is how fucking simple I am.
Mhm.
I have trouble trying to figure out 6 seconds, or something like that when again, it was changing over. I'm like, what the fuck? So no, I didn't. My heart didn't attack me again. So I'll get back to this. Norm Macdonald. There's a thing that I thought about. So
Mhm.
okay, so bottom line is, yes, I had a heart attack,
Mhm.
and the thing of it is, when I went in, two things. First of all, they never said those words.
Mhm.
Okay. They never said the words heart attack. And that's even when I called you and when I called everyone else, I
Right.
called it a cardiac event because that's what they called it. Okay.
Right.
But so let's do, I'm going to look this up again. Heart attack definition. Because I looked it up,
Mhm.
and I don't want symptoms. I'm not having one. I know what the symptoms are now.
Yeah,
I get
right.
it. Okay, so this is just, I looked up heart attack definition. Heart attack, also known as blah, 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 happens when the flow of blood that brings oxygen to a part of your heart muscle suddenly becomes blocked. Okay.
Mhm.
So the heart can't get enough oxygen, blood flow is not restored quickly, the heart muscle will begin to die. So that's a heart attack. Okay.
Right.
So that's not what happened to me. That part is not what happened to me because my heart didn't die yet.
Right.
A mini heart attack. Okay. Symptoms can include pressure and blah, blah, blah. Oh, goddamn. Oh, yeah, there you go. It said, it's a medical emergency and a mini heart attack. There is only a partial blockage in the artery. That's what I have. Okay. In 2 of them.
Right.
I'm only laughing because it's fucking amazing that I didn't die. Okay, ultimately over the last however many years. So it was a cardiac event, no doubt. And here's the deal: what happened? So it was the Friday night going in. It would have been Saturday, the 25th of October is when it happened. I had the procedure on that 26th, and just happens to be my daughter and son-in-law's anniversary is when I actually had the procedure. Not that matters, but it's an easy one. It's like, oh yeah, I had my first heart attack on their anniversary. Look at that. I keep saying first because everyone's gonna have a second one, right? And I'll explain my mindset.
Well,
on that
hopefully
here too. Yeah,
right. Yeah. You just get the one big one and
yeah.
Come to join you, Lizabeth.
It's gonna get me wheezy. So I ended up, it woke me up and I had these what it felt like, quite honestly, and it did knock me to my knees, nothing like that, but I mean extreme chest pain, and the same thing, cold and clammy in the arms, kind of up into the neck, the whole bit. But here's the thing, the part about it, and first of all, I should have went in right then, but I don't think my mind allowed me to realize and believe what the fuck was happening. Okay.
Right.
That's my own, and call that an excuse, call it what it is. But, your mind is just like, this can't be fucking happening.
Right.
Then it went away after 15, 20 minutes. Okay. And woke up Saturday. I went grocery shopping. I did the whole bit. I'm like, I got to go in, but I felt better, and I'm like, there was part of me. It's like, fuck, man. What did I do differently? I'm like, I didn't take cold medicine today. I didn't do whatever. I'm like, I didn't do that on purpose, but I just didn't. And I'm like, no, fuck it. I got to go in. I got to get this checked out. This is, I can't fuck around anymore. And I looked into the hospital, was part of my insurance, blah, blah, blah. So I get all my shit done. I walk into the hospital, and when you walk in, they don't ask you what the problem is. I mean, if I was walking in there with fucking chest pains, I would have been like, dude, I need fucking help, like right now, right?
Right.
But there, just this lady behind the desk, grab a number, kind of like you're at the deli. So I was number 12. No, I'm sorry. No, I was number 13.
Lucky number 13.
The number 13 came up twice during this in the ER, which is kind of funny. So I'm there probably 10, 15 minutes, and then they call my number. Then the lady's like, no. One of the nurses says that, oh, you missed 12. So then, I'll say probably 15, 20 minutes until I get in. So I go in, and one of the nurses they got these portable kind of EKG things, and hook me all up, sit me in a room, do that. And she looks and she's like, well, it doesn't look too bad. But she's like, I'm going to go give this to the doctor. So then she comes back. She's like, okay, come on down here with the doctor, saw possible irregularities. What they want you to do is come back, actually lay down flat, and then we're going to run it again. I said, okay, that's fine. So, at this point, the same deal with when I went in there. I'm like, okay, I'm going to go in, get checked out, figure out what it is. I don't know if is this really bad or is it not. So at this point, I hadn't called anyone yet.
Right.
So then Dr. Dramatic comes in, and that's what I nicknamed him, because this guy was a fucking knob. Okay.
Yeah.
So the show Scrubs, right? Perry was the attending, right? Would he be?
Yeah, I guess. It's been a long time since I've seen that show.
But he was like the head of the ER, like that. He was like the main doctor, right? If I remember correctly.
Right.
And then all the other ones, they came in as interns, but then they became residents, I think.
Right.
And a lot of them worked in the ER. So that's what I think Dr. Dramatic was. I think he was a resident. So he's like, oh, okay, so we're gonna do this, and this part of this looks whatever, and he's all this like fucking jacked up, and like no bedside manner whatsoever. If not that I'm looking to be coddled, but this guy's like, okay, we're gonna check this out. This is like this we got to check this out, and I'm like, okay. So he looks at this, and then they run it real quick, which is a matter of just minutes for them to do this. It didn't take long.
Right.
And then he points. He goes to the nurse. He's like, "You see what I see?" And they're like, "Yeah." I'm like, okay. So he's like, "Here's what we're gonna do." And he said, "You're probably not going home tonight." And in my head, like right out the bat, because now I'm in my head, I'm like, this guy's a fucking dick, right? Already.
Right.
In my head, I'm like, I'll fucking leave if I want to leave,
Yeah.
Because I don't want to be told what to do.
Yeah, right.
I mean, I'm in there. I want to be a little bit. Treat me like somebody who's in here dealing with fucking chest pains. Don't fucking get me all freaked out. But he's like, well, we're going to do some blood work, and he goes, if we find what I think we are, what they're going to end up doing is they're going to schedule you for this, schedule you for a stress test. We're going to get the surgeon over here. They're going to take you to the cath lab. They're going to do whatever. And I'm like, stop. And he's like, what? I said, what is a cath lab?
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, well, they could have the catheterization. I'm like, well, okay. So I'm like, I don't know what these things are. And I said, slow down. Tell me exactly what's going on,
Right.
So he's got me fucking irritated is really what it came down to.
Mm-hmm.
But they did that. They did the blood work. They came in there, blood work, this and that. One of the nurses came in, a couple got blood for this, couple got blood for that. They did an ultrasound. All this stuff was happening relatively quickly.
Mm-hmm.
They took me back and, did the, like the stand up chest x-ray type of thing. They had the lay down, the ultrasound on the left side of my chest because they want to get, pictures of the heart, obviously to see the, whatever blockage. And, they're waiting for the blood work to come back. The blood work comes back and he's like, and then again, fucking Dr. Dramatic, he's like, well, exactly what I thought. You're not going home tonight. And I'm just like, you're a fucking dick. And I didn't say it, but
yeah.
He goes, we saw whatever. Because they can see it from your, obviously from your blood. They can tell that there has been some sort of an event and there's damage, and they can tell from whatever it is. Okay.
Yeah, right.
So now it's clear that something happened. So at least we know, right? Yeah. So again, all these different people ask me all these different questions. They're trying to get the surgeon in there. And this was probably about the time when, I don't know how long I'd been there, but probably around the time maybe that I had called you. And just so everyone knows, I mean, I clearly wasn't thinking straight at this point, because my thought is,
right.
I'm like, first of all, I'm going to call Mike because my thought pattern was, I don't know exactly what's going on here. I don't know if I need to let everyone know, but if all this shit happens quickly, I need to let somebody know.
Sure.
And my thought was to let Mike know, because then he knows how to get a hold of my kids and Kathy and blah, blah, blah. So that's when I'm talking to Mike. And I mean, I'm asking these people, I'm like, oh, I got a little bit of time. I'm like, oh yeah, you got time. Make your phone calls. And that's what I told you. I remember what I said, but I think I asked you, what do I do?
Yeah. Right. Yeah, you did pretty much, you just kind of, gave me the thumbnail of what was going on. And, and no, you asked me, you were like, so should I call Kathy? And I said, yes.
Yeah.
Should I call the kids? Yes. Yes, you should.
Yeah. And I just wasn't, I mean, again, your brain just doesn't, I don't think my brain was allowing me to really comprehend what was going on. I wasn't freaking out. I wasn't
No.
scared,
Right.
but I just didn't.
You're confused.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of unfamiliar new shit being thrown at you. Right. Yeah. No, I get it. Exactly. Yeah. I know. Jesus Christ. I got to be the calm, responsible one again. Motherfuck.
Yeah, I know, but that's the thing, I'm like, I can't. I'm like, I gotta out of the four of you, because the four, there's people in my life, and those are the four people.
Mm-hmm.
When I travel, I text all four of them.
Right.
When I get someplace, when I, whatever it is, and I give them the address of where I'm at, blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, that's the core four people, because with those four people can get word out to anyone they would need to, or any one of those four can get word out to the others.
Right.
So that's my core group of people,
Mm-hmm.
So, and then, making those phone calls and doing that. And, obviously I got, I think I called Kimmy first, and then I got Derek on the phone,
Mm-hmm.
and called Kathy last. And I know Kathy ended up calling you.
Mm-hmm.
You told me that, but she also said the same thing, because she's fucking freaking out.
Yep.
And just a quick side note on that is that, well, two things. I'll say the other thing in a second, but, that was fucking weird, because it was an indication of almost understanding and realizing what it's going to be like when I die without dying. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
And I was going to say, I don't know if that makes sense, because I was able to tell people that basically, hey, I could be dead. And getting reactions from people, not looking for them, but getting these sincere and honest reactions from people,
Yeah.
It was in a weird, it was fucking heartwarming in a weird way.
Right.
I mean, and I don't even care if that sounds weird. It probably does, but it was, it made me feel loved and cared for, and it made me feel good,
Cool.
So, but it also made me think that I don't, and after making those phone calls, I'm like, I'm not ready to go yet,
Right.
And I knew enough about, because what they ended up doing, just to kind of jump the route, as they say, there's two clogged valves. One was 90% clogged. The other one, I don't know the percentage. It's bad too, but not as critical. So he took care of the left. They're going to fix the right. I've already got that set for the first week of December. I'm going back down to Missouri, because this all happened when I was in Lake of the Ozarks, by the way. Which is fine. I mean, their business office fucking sucks. Their business side of things suck, trying to get me discharged, but their level of care is undeniably, it's just fucking wonderful.
Nice.
So just absolutely, I loved the care that I got, except for Dr. Dramatic. He was a dick, and if I ever see him again, I'll kick him in the balls. No, seriously, I didn't fucking like him. The guy shouldn't be doing what he does in that capacity. But so I make all the phone calls, I do all these different things, and I knew enough about a cardiac stent, because that's what they did. They ended up going through the groin up into the heart, and they put the stent in there, and then now I'm on 5 different types of medications for now, which is fine, nothing out of the ordinary, no side effects with that, thankfully. So no issues at all with these medications. But it's the blood thinner, it's the main one. And the doctor and the nurses, they're like, you need to take all these medications without fail every single day, at least for the first 6 to 12 months. I think the blood thinners and whatever the other one is, one of the other ones, they said, because if that stent, fails or collapses, they said there's a lady right now that's in here because she missed or wasn't taking her medication on time. She had her stent failed, and she's in the room next to you right now in ICU, and she's in terrible shape. Because her, the doctor said this, the surgeon did. So they're doing all these different things. And then the surgeon gets there, and throughout this whole process, a lot of different people coming in and out, and it's all fine. I mean, this flurry of activity, and again, x-rays and bloods and all this fucking shit. I literally walked out of there looking like an intravenous drug user, because it's just, I had 2 veins blown because people didn't know what the fuck they were doing. But most everyone did, and I was getting blood like every hour after the procedure, because they needed my blood to thicken up so they could take the sheath out. So through this whole process, finally the surgeon gets there, and then it's like everyone's asking me, it's like, tell me your story. This is your story. What happened to you? What led up to this? And finally, I'm kind of to the point where I'm like, okay, in my head, I'm like, quit fucking asking me. Okay? I told the story. Find one person that's heard this fucking story.
Right.
And have them tell you. Or have them fucking write it down so you can read it. Right. And worst case, why does it fucking matter? Because if I was lying to you right now, which I'm not,
Right.
it's not like when I went to detox that I was lying to people, and they can tell based on my numbers and my blood
Sure.
shit. At this point, I'm telling you the truth, but you still have. Look at all my numbers in front of you. You fucking tell me what my story is. At this
Right.
point, quit fucking asking me. I'm done. So finally the surgeon gets there, and then they're asking me a couple other things, and he finally he's like, okay, this and that. And he was the surgeon to begin with that day, that
Mhm.
Saturday. Again, I did this fucking Dr. Dramatic, and then the surgeon was kind of a dick to me. And I was fucking irritated by that. I'm like, this dude's going to be literally all up inside of me. What's his fucking problem?
Right.
But I figured out what his problem was the next day because he came and sat down and talked to me.
Mhm.
But he said, we're not going to do the procedure today. We'll do it tomorrow, probably around 10 a.m. I'm like, you're not doing it today?
Mhm.
And he's like, no. And I'm like, but it just seemed like it. And he's like, no, you're fine. He goes, we got you on this, we got you on that. He goes,
Mhm.
we're getting, obviously you're being admitted, but he goes, you're okay. He goes, I gotta, he goes, you're fine. We're not gonna have it done. So he fucking walks out. I have no chance to ask him any goddamn questions.
Mm.
So I'm just like, fuck. So they admit me, take me up to the room, do all this and that. I'm just sitting there doing whatever. And that night, blah, I had a bad piece of chicken and whatever, went to bed. Horrible fucking piece of chicken. Horrible. So in the morning, again, I woke up early enough. I didn't get much sleep. They were in all the time, taking blood all the different time.
Right.
And this one lady, it's the same nurse there on her shift. I'm like, hey, it's a blood lady. She comes in with her fucking cart. She's like, yeah, I'm back. And then she came in the ICU the last day. I'm like, oh Jesus, I'm like, hey, there you are. I'm like, what are you doing down here? I said, yeah. I said, it's a blood lady. She said, no, I'm not here for that today. She's like, do you need anything from, she goes, I'm checking in on like respiratory things. And because they kept doing that, they had respiratory come in to check, do I need oxygen, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
So all said and done the next morning. So this is Sunday morning. I think it's 10 a.m. You got all the texts and all that stuff and, figuring out this back and forth and when it was going to be done. And then the surgeon comes in and he actually sat down in the room and he said, he goes, I just wanted to sit down. He goes, first of all, he goes, when I came in yesterday, he goes, I had a lot going on. He goes, I didn't have a chance to really answer any questions for you. So he goes, I want to do that now.
Right.
He goes, do you have any questions for me? And I said, what timing, how long is it going to take? Well, whatever questions I had,
Right.
And then as it turned out, he goes, here's what happened yesterday. He goes, I had a very critical patient that I knew had to get treated, needed to get a catheterization done. And he said, he goes, you weren't critical. He goes, that's why we, push you aside.
Right.
And he said, he goes, I thought you were going to be in worse shape than you were. I thought your numbers were going to be worse. I thought your blood results were going to be worse. He goes, don't get me wrong. He goes, you got severe blockage. We got to get this done. But he goes, I knew you were fine for me to push this off till today. He goes, but I thought you were going to be worse than you were. Then I'm like, okay, fucking Dr. Dramatic. That's what it was.
Right.
This fucking doctor lit him up.
Right. Of course.
And got him all whatever. And then the surgeon gets there and he's like, what the fuck?
Right.
He's not, and you didn't have to. So then that confirmed to me what a dick this other guy was. I'm like, okay, so now the surgeon over there is my buddy, and he was fine after that. But that's what it was. The doctor, got him fucking pissed him off.
Right.
Fucking called him in when he didn't need to be, and got me all fucking worked up.
Right.
So I go into do the procedure, to do the whole thing. Oh, and first of all, they had a male nurse up there. Two male nurses, one the night before and then another one in the morning. But the one the night before, as he's going through, and they had me all admitted and checked in and whatever. So he's sitting down on the computer in the room. He's going through some stuff and he's asking, he goes, just a couple of quick questions. You want to make sure you're all set for tomorrow, blah, blah, blah. And he just puts his arms down and I'm like, what? And he goes, you have no medical history, almost no medical history.
Right.
And he goes, you've never had anything wrong with you. And I said, well, I had the fundoplication. He goes, well, that is what it is. That was my heartburn.
Yeah. Right.
Thing, almost 30 years ago.
Right.
But he goes, other than that, he goes, you've never had anything wrong with you.
Right.
And I said, no, but that's the point. The guy, clearly I did. I just didn't know it,
Right.
But I said, and I've said this before, and I didn't say this to him, but over the years, I don't get sick if I get a cold and blah, 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 and all these different things. Right. But I'm sure I've said it to you before. I'm like, sooner or later, something's going to jump up and it's going to be bad. It's probably going to fucking kill me. Well, it is. It almost did. So all said and done, get the procedure. They put me on whatever type of medication that lowered my blood pressure too much. So that's the only reason I ended up in ICU. Because of my blood pressure was low. And I'm glad I did. These nurses down there, the care that they had down there, these guys were fucking wonderful. But the nurse, the main nurse down there, she took me off of. She stopped the drip about 40 minutes after I got there. My blood pressure came back. It was fine, but they still kept me there. And then it was her. That was her normal shift. She does a 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. And then she had a student nurse with her that day, and who was really fucking cool too. So probably early 20s or something like that.
Right.
So the two of them back and forth, and it's like literally every half hour, like knock knock, they come walking in, because what they have to do is, I had the incision in my groin, and there's still this sheath, that's in there,
right?
And they're checking to make sure that obviously that nothing's weird, and but before you go down for the procedure, again, they're going to be in the groin area. That's like, you got to fucking take everything off. So I'm wearing like a Kleenex and a smile is really all I have on. So this is after all the procedures done, and I'm flat on my back, because they're like, you got to lay on your back because of this incision. It's got to heal, and then it get to the point once the blood thickens up, and then they pull the sheath out, and then they literally have to physically, one of them has to put both hands in pressure on your groin for 30 minutes. Okay. Like pressure, like hard fucking pressure,
Right.
So right before the procedure, I got my first freebie. They gave me Versit. I've had that before with my other procedure before. And all it did is just kind of loops you up a little bit, makes you not give much of a fuck. And it's fucking wonderful, So
Sure.
I got my freebie. And then I remember that with Marin talking about it,
Right.
and you and I have talked about it. So we're leading up to getting this. The blood clot is clotting up okay. They're to the point where they're going to do it. And this main nurse, and she's probably, if I had to guess, maybe in her 30s, the other one early 20s. But really fucking cool people. I adored them, because I connected with them, and they took good care of me, I guess is the point, But she's like, okay, she goes, this is what's going to happen, and whatever, and this is the pressure, whatever. She's like, we can give you either fentanyl or Valium. And I'm like, I don't, first of all, I'm like, I'm not fucking with fentanyl.
Right.
I said, I know people do it on whatever, but I'm like, no. And everyone knew, I'm telling everyone, whether they want to listen or not, that I'm fucking sober,
Right.
And it's right in my chart, 15 and a half years, man. I'm like, I ain't fucking with this shit. And then I thought about it, and I'm like, you know what? Because I told her, I said, this is going to catch you. I said, there's a backstory to this. Me and my buddies talk about it. But I'm like, what I got upstairs is a freebie. I said, I don't need any here. I'm good. She's like, are you sure? And I'm like, I'm good. And then when she gave me that, are you sure? And then she explained it again, what's going to happen. I'm like, you know what? I said, give me a little bit of that Valium. I'm
right.
Like,
yeah.
It's not gonna kill me. And I said, I know what Valium does, just takes the edge off, because I'm thinking what they end up doing. And literally even though this student nurse, she's little, but she's got to put full force, her tippy toes and full force on there. And that's what it was. When as soon as they pull the sheet, they do this whatever, and then she hits it. I'm like, holy fuck! And then I started to sit up. She's like, no, you got to lay down. So you can't sit up, legs can't go up, whatever. She can pop the thing, and they put it through the what is that? The femoral?
Yeah, femoral.
Yeah. So yeah, and they're explaining to me they're like, you could bleed out like in minutes, if you fuck this up. So I'm like, they're like, don't fuck it up.
Yeah.
Not those words,
Yeah.
But so this 20-year-old, or 22-year-old, she had to be early to mid 20s. So she's, and I'm in fucking pain, and then she's like, she's like fucking. I'm like, oh, it's getting a little bit better, but it still fucking hurts. It hurts, man. And then she's like, so, and she goes, she's right on my fucking groin. She's right there, She's like, so where are you from? And I said, you know what, you're good. You're good. I said, you're gonna ask me questions to try to distract me from the pain. And she's like, don't make me laugh. She's like, I gotta hold this. She's like, I gotta keep this pressure out. I'm like, no. I said, go ahead, keep asking. So like we start talking, and then before we know it, 15, 20 minutes in, the pain kind of subsided a little bit, because maybe I got used to it, whatever.
Right.
Then the other main nurse, she tells this other student nurse, she's like, how you doing? She's like, I can't feel my hands. She's like, I don't think I felt my hands for like the last 10 minutes. But so that's all done. They get all that all set. And then, but it's still, from that point, I've got to lay flat for 6 hours. So did all that and overnight, and the discharge was what it was, and blah blah blah. But the care that I got while I was there, what was unbelievable. And I mean, all said and done, I mean, no complaints with anything except for the fucking dick from the ER, which
Right.
he was a fucking asshole. And
Yeah.
I caught on that he had pissed off the surgeon on top of
Mhm.
that.
Mhm.
So that's that. But then the funny part. So again, through this whole thing, I'm laying here fucking naked, right? And I mean,
Right.
they're after all said and done. I mean, they're coming in like every half hour, 45 minutes to check. Now that the sheath is out, check
Mhm.
this out. But I think about this. Okay, so I've got a heart valve open now, and I've got more blood flow, right? It just yes, you're thinking the right thing.
Of course.
So I'm just laying in bed for no goddamn reason. I start to feel a twinge. I'm like, oh, you can't. I'm like, fucking no, And then, but then immediately I'm thinking, I'm like, okay, there is more blood flow, whatever. You're just sitting
Right.
there all fucking relaxed. For any guy out there, you know what we're talking about. It
Yeah.
just there's no goddamn reason why you're gonna
Got a little
start to
Valium in your system. What the fuck, man?
yeah, you're just gonna fucking pop one, And it's not
Right.
like I got no underwear on. I'm wearing a gown that's made out of Kleenex.
Yeah,
And
Kleenex pup tent.
and I can't remember if it's been 5 minutes or 25 minutes since they've been in, because every time they come in, they got to, the thing back. And if nothing else, my fucking right nut and, the right side of my shaft got some exposure. I got some attention there
Mhm.
for about 12 hours. But I mean, thankfully, it's just like that was fine. It was false alarm. It was fine.
Yep.
Quartered up and went away. It was good. It's all good. But so all said and done, the second day the student nurse wasn't there. She normally would work nights, apparently, from what she was saying. But so the other nurse was there the second day, and we're going through this whole process with the discharge, and she's got all the paperwork, and she's like, okay, you're all set. She goes, I need to have you sign a couple of things. We're going to go over some things. She goes, why don't you get dressed first, and then we'll do this. I'm like. This again now I've known her now for the day and a half,
Sure.
and I said what you want me to sign important paperwork while I'm naked. And she's like, you can do whatever you want. She's like, it doesn't bother me. And I just started laughing. I'm like, I'll get dressed, I'm fine. I said maybe I look more serious if I actually have pants on, right? But this whole back and forth, they want me to drive, they want to do this. So all said and done,
Right.
that's all fine. So here's the thing, and here's the points that I wanted to make. And I asked the question of the nurse that was with me the majority of the time. I said, I want to ask you a question. I said, I don't know that you can answer this, but I said, just out of curiosity, because obviously they knew my past, but they also asked me a lot of questions, so they knew how I live my life these days.
Right.
And I said, based on my family history, because that was all over it. I was
Sure.
obviously upfront, and just so I guess I hadn't said that yet. This is how the male side of my family goes on my dad's side. On the side of the family, my great grandpa died at 63 of a monster heart attack. My grandpa died at 63 of a monster heart attack. My dad died at 66 of a monster heart attack, and I end up in with 2 clogged arteries, which had I not gotten this taken care of, I would have died at some point pretty
Right.
goddamn quickly, probably, of a monster fucking heart attack.
Mhm.
So clearly hereditary. I mean, there's no doubt. You can't fucking
Right.
deny it, right? So I asked her, and I said, do you think, I said, the whatever it was, the 20 some years of obviously abuse, the drinking, the smoking, the bad eating, all these things I did, is that the thing? Is it part of it, or is it hereditary, is going to happen regardless? And I said, I'm just curious, if nothing else,
Right.
And she goes, it's impossible to say, but I'll tell you this, your lifestyle over the last 15 and a half years kept you out of here, kept you from being here sooner.
Right.
She said, I'll tell you that much.
Mhm.
I'm like, oh, okay. That's all I can say. And
Yeah.
then when I ended up talking to Derek, I had those conversations with him when I got sober. I mean, it runs in the family, blah blah blah, but he's
Right.
not doomed to it. But I had a little bit more of a straight up conversation with him with this. I
Mhm.
said, this is different from when I got sober. I said, this is clearly a problem, and this is a hereditary problem.
Right.
So I'm like, I said, the facts are out there. I said, worst case scenario, I said, you could do what you want. I'm not telling you what to do, but I said, what I'm going to suggest is that from this point forward, when you go in for your physical, make sure that they understand your family history. If nothing else, they can take a peek at your
Right.
heart,
Yeah.
because maybe you can deal with this stuff when you're 30, and
Yeah.
not end up with 2 majorly clogged valves when you're 57 years old,
Right.
and what potentially could kill you. So So I just that was the thing. So I get a text from somebody after all said and done, and it's somebody that knows me relatively well, knows my lifestyle, knows my deal, knows what I what I do, what I eat, the fact that I'm a hiker, by the way, right?
Yes, right.
So knows all that, and obviously was glad that I was okay, and but the comment that was made was that obviously keep doing the walk, as I said, yeah, I can walk more. Told me to walk more, do more exercise. So I'm already hiking, but keep an eye on this stuff. And then, but the other comment was, straighten up that diet and make sure you're exercising. And to begin with, I'm like, but I fucking am. That's what I'm doing. I eat
Right.
right, and I'm doing all this shit. And it was almost like there was this almost, I don't know. I mean, I'm not some. It was almost a bit of shame if I felt,
Mm-hmm.
in a weird way, because I'm like, okay, who has a fucking heart attack,
Right.
I mean, anyone can, but
Right.
you get this vision, just like we get visions of alcoholics and drug addicts and whatever, right, wrong, or indifferent. I felt this little bit of shame, and I'm like, fuck that. I'm doing all the right things except for one thing I didn't do. I
Right.
didn't pay attention to the genetics. I didn't pay attention to the whole family line. I
Mm-hmm.
did, but I didn't, and
Right.
that's my fault.
Yeah.
Because there's no reason in the world that it had to get to this point, because to end up with two arteries that are as blocked as bad as these were, um, I don't know. I mean, was it 10 years? Was it 15 years? Has it
Right.
been, progressively? And that's the other problem. I was telling Kathy, I kind of liken this whole thing, because she's like, has it been bad? I'm like, I'm fucking walking all over the goddamn
Yeah.
place,
Right.
I haven't hit the dirt, but I said I get a slow start and things kind of loosen up and whatever. And I just thought that was from, I just thought I'm fucking old,
Yeah.
But clearly what's happening is my heart was clogged, and then it took a while to get the blood plumping,
Yes.
the blood pumping. And
Back
I'm
to the
sure,
Kleenex.
yeah, but I'm sure more than likely what happened is that, as they was clogging up, it just, my heart starts pumping and it cleared it up enough so I wasn't fucking falling
Mm-hmm.
over.
Right.
So I'm guessing that, doing all the stuff I did helped me, but,
Mm-hmm.
so I don't know, how long it happened, but I was telling Kathy, I'm like, so I started getting heartburn when I was like 19 years old. I didn't have the surgery until I was 28.
Mm-hmm.
It got progressively worse over that time frame. I didn't realize how bad it was until they gave me medicine for it.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't have it that first night that I didn't have any heartburn. I was
Right.
like, Jesus fucking Christ,
Yeah.
And so same thing. The first day out of there with this fixed, I'm
Mm-hmm.
fucking walking all over the goddamn place. And I did that the weekend afterwards. I walked 7 miles.
Right.
7 fucking miles.
Yeah.
And my legs and my knees were fucking killing me, but I had no issues with, I could do the sustained walking, and I'm only half good now,
Yeah. Right.
So I'm just, I don't know. If nothing else, if anyone wants to take this for what it's worth. Hereditary shit matters. When it comes to alcoholism, I've always been a person of saying that I don't care how I got to the way I am from my
Mm-hmm.
drinking and my alcoholism.
Right.
I am what I am, and I don't care if it was hereditary or learned or environment, whatever the fuck.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care. But from this fucking heart thing,
Right.
I mean, I had a physical when I was a year sober, so it wasn't there then. So
Mhm.
they would have caught it. So sometime in the last 14 years, this got this bad, and
Right.
it's my fucking fault that I haven't gotten physical in probably 10 years.
Right.
So I don't know. Take it for what it's worth. I mean, I'm 57 years old. We joke about being old, but it's not fucking old. It's oldish, but I mean, it's
Mhm.
not old enough to die of. I shouldn't have fucking fallen
Right.
over.
Right.
So I don't know. I mean, I just take this. Anyone take this for what it's worth. If you have a family history of fucking anything, just have them take a peek at it. That's all. Don't put, because what I did was I ended up putting people that I love and care about. I put through an unnecessary circumstance.
Mm.
I'm not saying that this wouldn't have happened, that I wouldn't have needed the surgery, but
Right.
you guys didn't need to get some fucking random phone call, on a fucking random Saturday, when I'm in a whole different part of the fucking country.
Right.
You didn't
Yeah.
need that.
Yeah.
Nobody
Yeah.
necessarily needed that. I'm not saying that, I'm not trying to put anything on, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It didn't have to go the way that it did.
Right.
And if if this would have ended up killing me, and all of a sudden came down, fucking heart valves are all fucking clogged up. Then you would all sit back and like, what the fuck's wrong with this dumbass? So, but again, I just get the shit checked out. I would say pay attention to your body, but I didn't feel like anything was going wrong. I had the bad one and I finally went in this bad thing.
Mhm.
But if it happened progressively, I just didn't notice it over the time frame. But I don't know, man, if there's hereditary shit going on, and literally I'm living a relatively clean life for, if nothing else, for 15 years. I even quit smoking 2.5 years ago.
Right.
So all said and done, living a fairly clean life, and underneath the hood, still all fucked up,
Yeah, the injectors were clogged. You're fine.
Oh yeah. Well, and here's the thing, okay, and I'm not. We always talk about, obviously when, it's like whatever, it's gonna happen when we're gonna die.
Mm-hmm.
After I get the second one done,
Yep.
I'm leaning back towards the if. I might be invincible now. I don't know. I mean, having that. I couldn't even get through that.
Good.
But I tell you what, I feel fucking great. It's just I'm so glad. This is gonna financially, it's gonna fucking bury me. I mean, I can't even imagine what all this shit's gonna cost. But what the fuck? Like Kathy's like, he's like, what are you gonna do? I'm like, I don't fucking know what I'm gonna do, and I don't give a fuck. I mean, it is what it is. That's what I have insurance. That's what I have insurance for, and the rest I'll fucking figure out. Oh, speaking of buy me coffee. Complete joke. Complete fucking joke. If anyone gives us any money, even joking about this, we're giving it away to fucking charity. I'm not taking any fucking money. It's a fucking joke. I don't need your money. And I don't need your thoughts. I don't even need your fucking prayers. What I need from you is to take a piece of simple fucking advice and don't be a goddamn dumb motherfucker like me and just ignore this. And for instance, Brian, my son-in-law, this had to be within the last 4 years since they've been in this place, because I think we were standing in their kitchen when I told him this. He came up in conversation about this whole family history. And he goes, I didn't know that. I'm like, yeah. And he's like, well, what are you going to do about it? I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, I'm not counting the days to, 63 or 66. And I'm like, if I ever have an issue, I said, I'll go in and get it checked out. I'm not going to, not do anything about it.
Right.
Well, I mean, that's what I did. But that's the thing though, is that, again, my fucking mind I wasn't trying to be delusional, but I still was.
Yeah, of course.
But I wasn't trying to be. I wasn't, it just, I don't know. So yeah, don't be a dumbass. Go get yourself checked out. If nothing else, you got a history of something, fucking get it checked out.
Right.
You got nothing to lose, and there's no reason to put, people you love and care about through some shit, or exit this earth sooner than you need to be. Because again, it's not about me, and I wasn't thinking about anyone else. During that, it was selfish of me not to get myself checked out. Is my point. That's the way that I feel about it. I'm not beating myself up. It just I fucking know better now because I almost died.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, you know what? That was the funny parts. Almost getting a hard on. Sitting there trying to fill out paperwork. Sitting there while I'm fucking naked. These nurses were fucking wonderful. Everyone was. A goddamn doctor was a dick and a half. But so yeah, I heading down. Kathy is going to come down for a couple of days. For the next procedure, I've got it set for December 2nd. Yes.
Cool.
And then got an Airbnb booked. I'm going to be down there for 2 weeks, so I got time to, because I can't lift anything heavy for the, those, whatever it is, so 7 days. So it gives me an opportunity. So I'll have to load my car back up or whatever. But, so yeah, everything's all set. Everything's all good to go. So
good. Look at you, responsible adult.
Yeah, and seriously, the thing of it was, because they kept asking me, they're like, where are you going to get it done? I'm like, and that was the other question I asked. I asked the nurses. I said, so if I go back to Indiana and I said, I'm going to have to start all over again because I'm like, I don't have a doctor. I've never gotten checked for this shit before.
Right.
They're like, yeah, and you might end up with a physician who either wants to get a second opinion or has a different opinion. I'm like, I don't want a different opinion. This guy's already literally been up in my shit.
Right.
He knows what the problem is. They're like, well, but everyone, they would get your records. I'm like, I don't care. And I'm like, I'll come back down here. I'd rather, I trust the guy now. I trust you guys, and that's important to me. I don't necessarily trust medical professionals.
Sure.
I don't trust a lot of people.
Right.
Especially somebody's going to have, their fucking shit up at me.
Yep.
but I'm like, I'd rather spend the extra money on do that than
Mhm.
I can't have fucking delays. I want to get this fixed,
Right.
and I don't want somebody else to second guess and say I don't need this.
Mhm.
I mean, they told me I saw
Right.
the way, a picture of the one that was already blocked and whatever. So I'm like, no, I don't want to.
Yeah. Well.
So anyhow, so what's to do with you? What do you?
Well, nothing that compares to that.
You know what? That was my goal. Because I'm like, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna need to step this here. This is a thing. This is our ratings thing. I was looking for. This is kind of our jump the shark type of thing.
Right.
We're looking for something to bring the show back to life. I literally, that's the length I'm willing to go to.
Wow.
This
Well,
podcast.
thanks.
But then I'm like, I don't want to die because first of all, then you got to figure out how to run this thing on your own if you choose to.
I couldn't. Right. I actually thought about that. I was like, fuck, I couldn't even come on here and well, Bill died. So I guess we're done doing this thing. Because you do it. I don't know how to, I don't have any of that. You send me a link, I click it, and that's all I do. Right.
Right,
I have no way to get into this and create an episode.
Right.
I have none. So I don't know. Maybe when I'm there for Thanksgiving, you could show me a couple of things.
Yeah, I could. I mean, in literally, I mean, worst case scenario, and I think I said this at one point. I mean, if anything ever did happen, you could probably go to, Elise. Elise could get something up somewhere
Right.
to let people know. But then, here's the other problem, though. I mean, you need a best man. I can't fucking die yet.
Right.
You're the one that said it. Who else am I going to ask?
Exactly, man. Yeah, you got to hang out till at least August.
Can't do the podcast and I don't have a fucking best man.
Right.
See, I got a reason to live, man. Oh, real quick, and I am so sorry. I mean, I know it's running late here. I will take 2 minutes here. My two revelations, two things. I'm done with my fucking job. I'm not done yet. But,
Yes.
I almost died a bill collector, and I don't want to.
Mhm.
There's nothing wrong with what I do, but ultimately, I'm not going to do this up to the day I die. That's my point. And then, theoretically could have been to that point. I don't want to do that. So this thing with, Kathy and I have been talking about, what the deal is. I'm going to try to start pushing through on that, figure the fucking thing out.
Right.
And here's the other thing. I'm done chasing fucking people,
Yep.
because I thought about, well, I was in there, like I was telling my core group and things like that. And
Mhm.
there's 3-4 people in my life that I reach out to on a semi-regular basis. And I consider to be friends. I care about them. And I'm not talking about anyone in Cleveland.
Right.
That's number one, because I mean, I see all you guys in Cleveland. When I see you're different, of course.
Right.
But not talking about you guys. We got a whole different relationship.
Mhm.
And I have one of my friends in Texas. I'm not talking about that individual because I think that person listens to the podcast. We also have a different type of relationship. So
Sure.
I'm cool with that person. But there's, 2 or 3 other people
Mhm.
that I reach out to. Hey, it's been a while. How you doing? Blah, blah, blah. And
Right.
then, a couple of texts back. And then it's like the person, they're done, or, oh, I'm really busy and whatever. I'm done. I'm done fucking chasing people.
Yep.
And I care about these people. And I think that they care about me. But, and this is not a, I don't, this is going to sound so fucked up. They never just text to see how I'm doing.
Right.
And I don't need somebody to see how I'm doing, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's two sides to a friendship. You've been a better friend over the years than I've ever been to you. Like before we started doing this, you would reach out probably more than I did. I mean, yes, I came back to Cleveland on a fairly regular basis,
Right.
but you'd be the one to reach out, send a text, make a phone call, whatever. I never did that, rarely, but you and I had this give and take type of thing,
Right.
And same thing with family and whatever. We check in with family. People get different relationships, but yeah, I'm done. I'm not chasing people anymore. I'm just not.
Right.
I have no fucking desire to. If you want to be a part of my life and you talk about it all the time, and I don't mean you, of course, but you talk about it all the time. You don't have fucking time to if people want to be in your life, they're in your life.
Yeah.
If they don't want to be in your life, then fuck them. They're not in your life.
Yep.
I'm not going to shut the doors. If somebody texts me, I'm not going to fucking ghost them.
Of course not.
But I'm not going to be the one. I'm not doing that anymore. I'm not fucking doing that anymore. next time I do that, then you can put me in my place. So anyhow, but no, I don't know. It is what it is. But yeah, those are my two revelations. But honestly, I'm doing okay. There's nothing out of the ordinary. I'm doing everything I'm supposed to be doing.
Mm-hmm.
Taking directions and all that stuff. And I kind of want to hang around for a little bit. So I'm doing
Well,
okay.
good. Yeah, I guess we want you to hang around for a little bit longer too.
Right.
Right.
And then you're going to Chicago this weekend to see Chris's kid, right?
Yeah. Donnie and his husband, they bought that new house. This is the first time. Yeah, the whole family, all the kids are going to be there. Cameron's coming down from Alaska. James is coming up from South Carolina. Yeah, Jess and her boyfriend are driving up. Yeah, we're all going to be there. The whole damn family. And and Tyler, that's Donnie's husband. His family's going to be there. His mom and dad, and I think maybe a brother or two. And yeah, so there's going to be like shit ton of us there, like 25 people.
What I bought? A new Blink Mini 2K Plus smart security camera. What I got? 2K clarity sharp enough to see every detail of home when I'm away. Plus audio like I'm in the room, not with my bestie traveling to another city. Plus easy plug-in setup to install faster than skipping through podcast ads. But you'd never skip ads, right? Plus, I got all of this for just $49.99. Blink Mini 2K Plus. Mini camera, max performance. Shop now at amazon.com/blink.
Okay, Chad. Today you're gonna drive the all-electric Toyota BZ.
But my electric vehicle phobia. I'm not ready, Dr. Ross.
I believe in you.
Oh my gosh. We're inside it.
Try to take deep breaths, okay?
The ventilated seats, they're touching me.
You can do this, Chad. Drive the car. How do you feel, Chad?
I feel cured. Woohoo! I'm doing it!
The all-electric BZ. One drive can change your mind. Toyota. Let's go places.
Yeah, see, I didn't realize that was going to be that big group. Well, that's really, really cool. That's actually very cool.
So yeah, it's going to be fun, and because I got COVID, I missed the wedding, so I didn't get to meet in-laws, and it's going to be cool.
Very cool.
Yeah.
I'm heading up to see the kids, and we're doing a late birthday lunch, kind of all of us birthday lunch. Katie is not able to make it. I think it's her grandma's. Yeah, her grandma's like 80th birthday on Sunday. But yeah, we're heading up on Sunday. I'm going to pick up Derek, and we're heading up to Oshkosh, and Brian's off of work. So yeah, it's going to be, obviously Kimmy, Brian, Ollie, and then me and Derek will hang out for a little bit on
birthday.
Sunday.
It's more didn't drop dead day.
Yeah, it's kind of but it's it turned out because Derek and we got together for my birthday.
Right.
I got with Derek, and then he was out of town for his, and then Kimmy's just passed a couple of days ago. So it was kind of that, but and also, hey, by the way, dad's alive.
Cool.
Yeah, exactly. So all right, man. I know that you wanted to kind of cut short about 10 minutes ago, but
whatever.
I was rambling, and then I didn't want to like skip over your whole Chicago thing. So I'm glad you told me that, because I didn't realize that everyone's going to be there. So
yeah, it's going to be very cool. So we're and because I think things are going on like another cruise or something on actual Thanksgiving. So this is it's he's already spent close to $2,000 on food, like 2 20-pound turkeys and 2 hams, and it's gonna be a festival.
Nice.
Yeah, it's gonna be great. So we'll have all that to talk about next week. We got a guest next week?
No, our next guest is Jeremy, and that's not until December.
Okay.
Something. I don't remember.
And
what
then we'll have
the
annual Thanksgiving gratitude show.
Yeah. The day after Thanksgiving. Then I'm heading
Indiana.
Back. Yep. And then early Saturday morning I'm heading out. That's when I'm going back down to the Ozarks. So that Saturday after Thanksgiving I'm heading out early. So, but
all right. Well, whatever. So I'll fucking hang out and you can leave.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying. Not that it matters for you. It's just that was kind of a side note. But yeah, I'll be here because we always do it on Friday, on Black Friday anyhow.
Right.
And then, then it'll be good. It'll be fun.
Cool. Well, I'll help you load up your car, you old crippled man.
You know what? And that was the other thing too. Kathy asked. It was kind of funny when I got back here. Kathy asked me. She's like, "Do you need any help?" I'm like, "No." I said, "Seriously, man, I am good." And up and going upstairs, gives me. I get if I'm going to get strained at all, it's going upstairs a little bit. And that's what they told me that they said to begin with, just careful with going up elevation and whatever, and obviously stairs, just take it slow. But I mean, I'm like, fuck, I'm fucking fine. I'm just honestly fucking fine. But yeah, when I got back and Kathy came into the room and she's like, I'm so happy to see you. She'll give me a hug.
I bet
and then
she did.
she's like, yeah, I'm so happy to see you. And I'm like, well, because I've said this to her before, because it's this is an AA thing that people say all the time. I'd better to be seen than viewed. And she's like, oh. And I said, yeah, not as funny this time, is it?
Right.
But yeah, it was good though. But yeah, one way or the other. I mean, I'm telling you, the only thing that they had told me was, because I had the procedure obviously on that Sunday, they wanted me to watch, like going up hills, elevations, things like that for 7 days, not lifting anything real heavy. So that was one of that. I was glad I was down there for that extra time frame, because technically it's not like I couldn't have loaded up my car, but the heaviest thing, like my suitcase with all my electronics and, even just my regular bags, I mean, they're kind of heavy.
Yeah.
Because I mean, they were telling me, they're like, because of this incision, that you can fucking bleed out from.
Right.
Like, yeah, really, we don't want you for that first 7 days lifting anything heavier than, like a gallon of milk,
Right.
I buy
8 pounds.
this. Yeah, whatever it was. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Gallon milk is 8 pounds.
Gallon. Yeah. I know a gallon of diesel fuel is 8 pounds. So
okay.
Probably pretty close.
Yeah, well, and same thing with. I always buy a big jug of tea. I do that. So that's probably the heaviest thing that I had during that 7 day period. But yeah, everything's fine. That area was a little sore after I got back from hiking, but not bad. I was careful, with it. I went up a little bit of elevation here and there, but I know those trails well enough at that state park that I go to, because I've been there a lot. There was one trail that I ended up, and I ended up going up. It was a bigger incline than I thought it was. I'd never been on that part of the trail before, but I took my time, going up it. But other than that, I mean, I was able to see everything I wanted to, and basically stay on the flat parts of the trails, and not have to really exert myself. And I had a great fucking time.
Good.
So yeah. So anyhow. Yeah, I'm still here. Still
alive.
alive.
Well, yeah, good.
I've been kicking.
Clean out that carburetor.
Yeah, exactly. I'm seriously though. I mean, I know I was joking about the if I die now, but I'm looking forward to getting the second one done. So I'm like, Jesus Christ, And then it just I don't know. I just did. I do. I'm kind of kicking myself. I there's a bit of I feel bad that I let it go, and I didn't, and it's not the way that we live, and I didn't mean to do it. And but the thing of it is just that it all this stuff must have happened. Well, not must have. It did. It just happened so gradually. I didn't realize how fucked up it was.
Right.
And like I said, I mean, I'm all over the goddamn place. I'm climbing fucking mountains on all over goddamn trails. I'm not some fucking slovenly, cheeseburger drooling, fucking whatever dude, out in the middle of
a recliner eating Cheetos.
Yeah, it was, but that's my point. That's why I was, kind of like, seriously, when I said that, it all that shit didn't matter. I mean, it did. It obviously helped me.
Sure.
But what's going on in there was just gonna fucking happen either way.
Yep.
But yeah, I don't know. Just again, I gotta tell everyone, just go get it checked out. Whatever you got, fucking get it checked out. I'm serious, man.
Right.
Just it's an opportunity. And if you're sober, and you're hopefully, obviously sober and listening to this, or thinking about it, this is the responsibility that we have. I feel that responsibility to other people.
Yeah.
And when we talk about that, I mean that, I'd like to stick around for myself. There's some shit I want to do, but I want to stick around for other people. I don't want to put people through unnecessary pain and grief,
Right.
And just based on my own fucking laziness and stupidity, I almost did that. I don't want to be that person. We don't have to live that way anymore,
Right.
So anyhow, cool. So there.
Right.
All right.
Well, all right. We done?
Yeah, we're done. We're done. It's been a long day and a long night. And thank you for indulging my story for a little bit longer than
absolutely.
that,
Well,
so.
I kind of wanted to hear it, and I'm sure somebody else out there wanted to hear it too.
Yeah, and again, like I didn't lie. Like I said, spoiler alert. I lived. It's okay.
Yep.
All right, man. Your turn.
All right. Well, thank you everyone for listening to yet another episode of Sober Not Mature. As always, be kind to each other, be good to each other, go out there and do something nice for somebody else this week, and don't tell anybody you did it. And if you're having a fucking problem, get some goddamn help. All right. Now, whatever that problem is, now, from the bottom of my heart and Bill's heart, to the depths of my soul, from the beginning of time until the ends of the earth, always and eternally, fuck you. Now it's time, kids. It's time for you to fuck off. It's time for me to fuck off. Then keep fucking off. Keep fucking off till you get to a gate with a sign on it saying you cannot fuck off past here. Climb over that gate, dream the impossible dream, and keep fucking off forever.
And you know what? I didn't get a chance. I'll play it next week. Norm Macdonald, it reminded me of. He had this bit about a heart attack, and I found it. I'll play it. I'll play it next week because I forgot about it. But all right, man. Travel safe and have fun. And anyone and everyone in the whole family, all these people I don't know, tell them I said hi and
I will.
all that stuff. So
yeah.
All right, man. Well, all right. I love you, brother.
I love you too.
We will chat soon.
We shall.
Bye.
Bye. And now it is time for you to fuck off. Then keep fucking off. Keep fucking off until you get to a gate with a sign on it saying you cannot fuck off past here. Climb over that gate, dream the impossible dream, and keep fucking off forever. Now it is time.
The holidays mean more travel, more shopping, more time online, and more personal info in more places that could expose you more to identity theft. But LifeLock monitors millions of data points per second. If your identity is stolen, our US-based restoration specialists will fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Don't face drained accounts, fraudulent loans, or financial losses alone. Get more holiday fun and less holiday worry with LifeLock. Save up to 40% your first year. Visit LifeLock.com/podcast. Terms apply.